This craggy edifice I'm standing on is Mount Arapiles in Western Victoria. And the reason I'm here is because three of Australia's top climbers, Chris Baxter here and down below, Nic Taylor and Andrew Thomson, have promised to show me some of the most exciting and dangerous climbs available to rock climbers in this country. So without further ado, let's have a look at a fun little climb called A Taste of Honey. This little climb's called A Taste of Honey, which I reckon is a great name. But how do they come to be called things like that?
Oh, at Arapiles here, there's probably about 500 climbs, and whoever puts up the climb first has got the right to be able to name it whatever they like. And the people that did this one first called it A Taste of Honey. And not only are the routes named by the people that do them, but every one of them's got a grade. And this one's pretty near the top of the scale, so it's a pretty hard route. Well, now, when he steps around the corner, he'll go up the diagonal crack to the left, which is pretty solid climbing, and you can see that it starts to enter incredibly steep country above, in fact ends in a horizontal roof. Well, he's got to get up underneath that roof and then swing across, purely on his hands, across that overhanging wall, out to the edge there where the little ledge is, which will just be like the other side of the Niagara Falls to a tightrope walker.
How far down's that drop underneath there?
Well, there's no wall below him either, and it'll be at least 100 feet from him to the deck, and there's no rock at all underneath.
That's amazing. I sort of always envisaged rock climbing as being, a straight face. This sort of stuff is unbelievable.
Unfortunately, it used to be just straight-faced stuff, but with the new gymnastic standards, it's clawing around under roofs like sloths.
Nic's leading this climb and Andy's belaying. What's involved in the two different jobs?
Well, the person climbing is the only one moving in rock climbing. The other one's firmly anchored and paying out the rope in such a way that should the bloke who's climbing fall, well, he's completely safeguarded. You notice Nic's putting in little pieces of protection known as runners or nuts, which comprise a nut, a piece of rope and a carabiner, and he clips his rope in there. And if he should fall, the idea is that the second person holds him. The second person gets them out when he comes up, and that'll be Andrew's job in a few minutes.
So he's not using the rope at all as a climbing?
No, the rope's purely as a safeguard. Nobody actually pulls up on it or uses it as a handrail in any sense. It's just for safety. You see, it's clipped into one of those runners there to hold him if he falls. Just watch this bit coming up here. He's right under the roof. He's going to hang upside down now. He's just got to cut loose and let those feet go there. And once that happens, there's a good chance that he'll wrench his hands off the holes because they're so small and he'll just be airborne.
I mean, you don't believe you're seeing it, do you?
Right, it's pretty hard. In fact, he might be airborne in a minute now. There he goes.
That man is hanging over 100 feet of thin air.
Very thin air. Just right on his fingertips. That's good. It's really good. He's over it. He's safe now. He's laughing. He's there, safe on the other side.
But he made that look so easy.
Yeah, it's a really unusual performance to see anything done as well as that. It's damned hard, and the performance you've just seen will give no indication of the difficulty. You'd really need to see other climbers on it to realise that they'd be flailing and wailing out there.
Well, we'll see another one when Andrew comes up.
Yeah, he's pretty good too, so I mean, he might get across pretty well.
From here on's the easy part, eh?
Yeah, well, at least he's got hands and feet firmly on the rock. It's not overhanging, and you can see there's fairly good holds. It's relatively easy to the top now. It'd want to be though after a roof like that, wouldn't it?
Is it easier to be the second climber?
He's really going to have a psychological strain because he's seen a leader go up in front of him, and the leader's obviously been puffing and panting. Even in a good display like that, you hear the leader grunting and heaving and tiring himself. And then the leader's put in all that protection, you see, that rope's clipped into.
Yeah.
Well, the second knows that he's got to pause and get that out at every point. And if any of those are in tight, it's ounces of strength just ebbing by the second.
That's me. Right. Climbing. Don't take in too much at the bottom because the rope's round your head.
It's a frightening thing, really, to follow a lead like that, because not only will he have a rope above him that's going to one side, but if he falls off, he'll be hanging completely free from the rock as well, and not being able to get back on the rock with any ease.
You're getting a bit of rope drag, Tommy. Okay. There's not much you can do about it, though, I don't think. No.
Must be really hairy taking out the only things that are going to save you if you fall.
It sure is. You can see, especially hanging upside down like that, he's just got a leg hooked in. He's right on his arms. It's really tiring. It's something that you don't relish doing. It's a real drag for the second here, in every sense of the word. You can see he's really just absolutely hanging upside down. Any extra movement, like unclipping those things and trying to get them out, strength going. Yeah, he's crossed his hands and he really could be in trouble here. He's looking tired, looking to see his strength ebbing now. He's really, really in trouble there.
What happens?
I reckon he's going to come off. He's really in trouble.
You know, how does he get back on the...
Well, he's just got to get hold of the swing and get hold of that rock. If he doesn't, he can't be pulled up by the leader. He just couldn't be strong enough to pull him back up.
So he's just got to keep...
He's got to swing in and grab the end of that rock and get himself up.
I'm trying. Hold me there a tick. I can put... You can grab the rock now. Ooh. Take in a bit.
Oh, that scared hell out of me.
Well, it scares me just watching it. It really does. Just drop like a rock. You see how tight that rope is, you could play a symphony on it.
Take in. Can't muck that up. Your turn will come.
Yeah, I'll probably do what I did the first time yesterday and come off near the start, you know.
Is it unusual for a climber to fall?
Not at the highest grades anymore. It used to be once when nuts and so on weren't very good, and therefore it was fairly dangerous to fall. But these days on the hardest climbs, it's a way of life almost. Many climbs aren't got up, except at the expense of several falls. They're never fun though. Even if you know you're relatively well protected and you're not going to fall a long way, it just frightens you to death. It's a terrible feeling.
Just say you got it. Just tell me you got a $100 bonus to fall. And you're laughing all the way to the bank.
Well, mate, that was just everything. We saw the perfect climb, and we saw Andrew get into a bit of trouble. Are there any around here that, you know, I hate to say this, but I think I should give it a bit of a crack if there's something around that's...
Well, I think we've got something which we could just set you down to the ground. It's a little thing called trapeze, because you've got to swing across a bit of a blank wall, and if Andrew's in a bit of trouble, who's to say that he'll be alone in that field? So I think it's just the one for you. And then when I get up, I'll anchor myself, tie on properly. They'll tie you on, and then you'll be just belayed up safely with the rope above you all the way. And if you slip off, you'll be held on the rope, and that rope will hold a falling elephant.
The rope goes straight up above you, so, you know...
So I do that thing that you do?
No, you'll just fall 2 feet, you know, the stretch of a rope.
Yes, I don't know whether I'm ready for this.
Thanks. Have a few carabiner.
Does it look like you imagine it to look, Stu?
It's a little bit different, yeah.
How's that? A bit easier?
A bit scarier.
Yeah.
Just that blank bit of wall in this vertical crack business.
Yeah, I think you'll find that there's holes on either side of that that you can use, and as I say, if you remember to use your feet, you'll be right there.
If you can get up that, you can do the whole climb.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's have a go. Let's go and do something.
Okay.
Good luck.
Well, I can't see any hand or footholds, but I'm prepared to believe they're there.
Get that foot as far across as you can, and then reach it across. You've just got to swing across a bit, and your foot goes on that. As soon as your foot's on that, it's in the bag. You can walk all over the place, you know.
This is the bit that's so easy your grandmother could do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nervous laughter. Well, Chris is nearly up there. It's getting close to my turn.
On belay, Stewart.
That's me.
When you're ready, Stewart.
Okay.
You're going well, that's good. It's a good start, because that starts hard.
That's right.
I've got this.
Look down and put your right foot on the ledge. Little foothold. That's it.
The ledge, he calls it. What a jag.
Good.
If you can get your hand in. Get your left hand deep into the crack there where your right hand is. Good. Not too tight, Chris.
My God, I'm only 15 feet off the ground. But believe me, that rope isn't helping me at all.
Are you listening to me for a sec, Stu?
Yeah?
There's a side hold for your right hand so that you can lean leftwards off the side hole.
Stand lower, just under your armpit.
Where? Here?
No, to your right. To your left, sorry. Straight in front of your chest.
The vertical rib, an edge.
Sort of there.
Yeah. See, now you can lean across on. You're doing really well. Beautiful.
You're bombing up at Bonington.
First of all, drop your left foot down onto that lower ledge. Now gingerly bring your right hand across. Put it in beside your left hand on the flat hole. Now take your weight a bit and swap feet. Very good. Great.
Yeah, I'm making this look easy, aren't I?
Keep it going,
Nearly all over. You're on good. You're on
Sheer survival instinct.
Great, well done. That's the hard stuff.
Don't speak too soon. That's it.
Oh, good.
Great. Very gutsy.
Look for the holds up there.
You got to take that off first, do you?
Yeah, you take the carabiner out.
From here on, I know I'm going to make it. But every step takes me just a little bit higher from those sharp little rocks down below. In terms of fear, I know I won't fall, but just the sheer height that intimidates me. G'day. If only I could tell you how relieved I feel.
Look back down it.
Yeah. Bellbird was looking very good at one stage there.
Look even better, you just swoop down the rope in a minute.
Oh yeah, in a minute I'd like to have a round up here actually. The worst part about abseiling is stepping backwards off the top of the cliff, leaning outwards. And here you see perhaps one of the most cautious abseils ever recorded on film. This is where I run out of wall.
Now watch yourself going over there. Just ease over that lip gently or you'll hit your face.
Give it a little jump and drop a bit. Jump. Okay.
Ah, I believe in God. Ah.
What was that, Norman? Oh, the weight off.
Ah. Well, nothing's ever felt so good as standing on solid ground again. It's not a sport I'd take up, but certainly good for a few laughs. Nervous though they may be. Thanks, mate. Travelling. Oh, look at this. And here you are.
Great.
The best part, actually, the having, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good fun. Good, you're just sliding down like a
Once you get over
stone
that,
or something or other.
that fear of that height.
Yeah, the hardest bit's just stepping off.
Leaning
It's
out,
like,
yeah.
now we've got to make sure we get the ropes down.
This one's called Kachong.
Why is this climb called Kachong, Chris?
The first guy that put it up got to the top and he went, Kachong!
Is it very different from Taste of Honey?
It is. It's a ceiling rather than a crack climb, and it's a bit harder. And on a ceiling, they're just literally right out over the ground with not even any hope of getting near a retaining wall. Well, here goes. He's absolutely committed now. There's no going back for him. It's good he's hanging straight on his arms because it's a little bit less tiring than having them crooked up. But he's trying to hook a toe in
his
under
arms and his toes and his...
And you notice one leg just never really touches rock much. It's just waving around like a magician's wand. Can't get up quickly, he'll be right off it. It's desperately strenuous.
What a magnificent effort.
He's up all right. That's good. Just imagine the relief of that. Look at that position too.
As far as Andy's concerned, the rest of it's the anti-climax. For me, that would be practically impossible.
Here again, he's got his feet on the wall. Makes a difference.
He's there.
Very relieved little fella. That's a really good lead, though. Really hard.
Well, here comes the other boy wonder.
Well, let's hope he doesn't have the same fate that befell Andrew on a Taste of Honey.
Andy's not a very big guy, and it just sort of amazes me that he could hold Nic's weight if he fell.
Yeah, it'd be a fairly static load, and he wouldn't be able to haul Nic up at all. He'd just be able to hold his dead weight, and Nic would have to get himself back on the rock, which could be almost impossible, in which case he'd probably have to be lowered to the deck.
Got a match, Nic? Ah, he looks like Spider-Man.
Amazing.
Oh, look at that hanging on one hand.
Well, there he is. He's in the other boat. Now he's got to unclip the runners that Andrew's put in, and an even more strenuous just hanging there.
Is he in trouble there?
Yeah, he's certainly not laughing. It's strange, terrific.
Great climb, Nick.
Oh, that's really good. Got everything in but his teeth. He's just on the lip of the world.
You're really enjoying this, aren't you, watching him go through this?
Better him than me, Stuart.
So relaxed, isn't he?
It certainly is, but if you started getting rattled up there, you'd be off like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, don't do that to me. I think this gesture shows just how these fellas feel about their thing. The challenge of hard climbing.